All right, so my name's Ryan, and I'm going to tell you guys what I did to the do-it-yourself incubator that I built from Katernik's Corner, or some people call it the Terrybator. This is the big one, not the mini. So shout out to that guy, Terry. He's awesome. Shows you everything you need to know on how to build this thing. It was super easy to build. But I had a little bit of trouble with it, and I was reading the comments, and some people said they were having problems getting the humidity level high enough. And so I'm going to show you what I did here to try to correct that, and maybe you guys can do it too, and just some upgrades that I did to it that make it a little bit more user friendly. But this thing works great. Shout out to Terry. Thank you so much for putting this kind of information out there. So everybody can hash up their quail eggs. So I guess first things first is the humidity. What did I do to get the humidity levels up? The first thing I did was, instead of using the Inkbird, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, instead of using the Inkbird, I bought this STC 3028. Now what that does is it does the temperature on this side over here, and then the humidity on this side over here, and you can set whatever you want in there in order to maintain the temperature and the humidity. What I also like about this is that it goes in tenths of Celsius. And so this is in Celsius. It's not that big of a deal to convert it. 37.5 is 99.5 degrees, and you can kind of play with it and figure out what's going to work best for you. But so now that we have the humidity over there, you need a way to raise the humidity in the box. And so here's what I came up with. So if you look in here, you can see that this is just the regular, the regular incubator that it's got going on. This right here is the sensor that senses the temperature and the humidity. And what it showed on Terry's is that he had some a water tray down in there. And I tried that, but I still couldn't get the humidity up high enough. He put a couple water bottles in there. I tried it, still couldn't get it. And so what I did was built this. And this looks, it's just a tray. And if I leave this tray in here with just the incubator running, then it brings it up to about 35 when it starts getting warm. And I like to run it at 45 to 50 during the first 14 days, and then when I switch to lockdown, I'm trying to bring it up to around 70. And this does it. This does the trick. So if you look down here, this is just one of those Rubbermaid, whatever things. You can buy them for like $4. It's the bigger one. Some people make no waste feeders out of them, but you can pick that up at Menards or anything. This is just some blue paper towel to help with the cleanup and stuff. It gets a little gross when you're hatching 240 eggs at a time. And so I bought these sponges, and that helps also to like wick up the moisture level. But here's how it regulates it. Now I don't know if you're going to be able to see this really good or not. This is just kind of okay. That thing right there is an atomization disc. All right, they put them inside. Like, I don't know. My wife has one. She puts essential oils in there, and it makes the house smell nice. So that's just a replacement one of those. And these things are cheap. Like you could. Here's the thing that it comes in. EC buying, right? This is what it looks like when you get it. It comes in a little package, and you just plug it into the circuit board here, right there. You plug it in, and then this end plugs into a USB. What is it called? A micro USB? Yeah, micro USB. And so it runs on DC power, and it has a little switch right here in the middle that can kind of change through the modes. What I wanted to do was make it to where it was continuous all the time. And so if you flip it over, you'll find there's a spot of solder right there. And basically what that does is it connects the switch, and as long as the power is onto this thing, then it will atomize, and that's what you want. When I first did this, I went ahead and just, I hooked up the DC power supply to it, and then I just set it down inside this water. It comes with this little wicking thing here, and it goes into the bottom. It's kind of hard to do while I'm sitting here holding this camera. It goes into the bottom like that, and then this sits down in the water, and it basically wicks the water up to the bottom of this, and then this kind of just sprays out a mist. And it's a humidifier. So what I did was I changed some things around because I didn't want to do that. And I soldered the clip and everything. The light's bad in here. I soldered the clip and everything together here, and I extended the wire. I extended this wire up through the back, and then it comes out. That's something else I'll show you here in a minute. But it comes out right here. You know what? Hold on a second. I'll show you what that looks like coming out of there, because you're going to kind of need to know how to wire that thing up. So hold on. Okay. So here's the wire that comes up from the bottom, and this is the 12-volt power supply that goes to the micro USB and plugs into the driver board. There's that little solder for the connection that I used to solder that together to make it power itself. And then I just soldered the wires directly to the board right there, instead of having that little clip on there. And so right there is how your wiring goes for the temperature and the humidity. So this side over here, and there's a diagram on the top of this. I know you can't see it, and look, by all means, I am not an electrician, and so here's the disclaimer. If you burn your place down, it's not my fault. I just followed the directions that Terry gave for the incubator, and I kind of extrapolated what I needed to do to get this thing to run how I wanted it to run. And so this is just a regular a plug, just your regular, just your regular AC plug, right? And that's the two wires that go into this side, one over here and one over here. And then you need a jumper that comes off of that, which I guess is the common. You have the neutral, and you have the hot. So this is the neutral and this is the hot. And so I took all of the neutrals and I connected them with this wire nut right here. So this goes to all of the neutrals into the back of this, and then the hot wire has its jumper that goes from here and then also to here, and that hooks up to this wire nut here. You also are going to need a regular plug-in, just a small little piece of wire that this can plug into. So I just used the other end of a extension cord, cut it off, 3 or 4 inches long. I probably should have made it a little bit longer. Things are a little bit tight back up in here. But then you just put all the hots together and all the neutrals together. You get the hot coming out of here, and then the hot coming out of here to your light bulbs. One for the humidity and one for the lights, the heat. And of course this is the fans coming up, and it has its own 12-volt power supply as well. So the way this thing works, I'll plug it in here for you real quick. Okay, so as you can see, we got 18.9 degrees Celsius and 98.8 degrees, or not degrees, whatever that is, RH, percent RH, the percent humidity, right? And so that looks weird. In the camera, it looks weird, but whatever. When it's not in the bounds, like you can set this to go from 37. You can set it to turn on at 37.5 and then shut off at 37.6, and I think that's where I have it set now. But you'll see that this continues to go up, and whenever it's not within that range, this little light comes on here, and that turns the light bulbs on. And then once it gets inside that range, then it will shut the light bulb off. Let me just take this and set it up here so it'll heat that up, and it'll show you how that works. Okay, so let's show you real quick here what happens. I turned this up, so now it's, you know, it's on 72% humidity, and that'll probably start climbing. I don't know, because I got the door open. But you see how that second light came on where it says out. Now what that does is that turns on the power to the 12 volt power supply that I have that goes to the atomizer. Now if you look down here, what you'll see, I don't know if you can see it well or not, but you see that little mist coming out of there? That's a humidifier, and that's basically going to bring up the humidity in the box. It's hard to tell because of the doors open now, and I'm just kind of videoing this, but I also have this thing here, and this was from a different atomizer that I bought that didn't end up working out, but I just basically drilled these little holes in here for that thing to sit on, because that mist is pretty cool. And right here is the shelf for the eggs, and I didn't want that mist to blow up on the or shoot up onto the bottom of the eggs and cool them down. So I put that little like a blocker here, and that's just going to mist up to the top of that, and then it's going to circle around. Most of the mist goes back inside there into that chamber, and then goes back up through the drafting machine, well, drafting machine is not the right word, air channel, I guess. You can kind of see it going in there now, and then it comes through the fans and then back, and it just circulates that moisture all through there. It works really, really good. You'll notice one more thing that I did. Do you see the tube, that tube that runs in the back of that right there? What that does is that goes down inside this tray, and so while the door is shut, and eggs are incubating, if I look in here and I find that the water level is low, I can add water to it without opening the door. And what I did was I just took a couple of those little funnels that you buy for like the sand art or whatever, that, you know, I don't know, people fill up bottles with sand, I guess. I got it at the hobby store or whatever. They were super cheap, like $2 for like 5 of them. And I bought some of the tubing, some of this tubing right here from Menards, right? People use this for their fish tanks and stuff like that. It's just, what is it? Quarter-inch diameter plastic tubing. Yeah, and it fits. And it fits on the end of those little funnels. And so when I notice that the water level is getting low, I can just take water, dump it in there, and then that tube will funnel it down inside into that tray. And so I can just fill it up. Now that brings up probably your next question. You're gonna say, Ryan, why is there 2 of those up there? Well, that's because I didn't try this, but when I wanted to run the different watering solutions or whatever, and I thought maybe I could get away without having this humidifier, but I still wasn't getting the humidity that I needed, which is why I added that. So what another thing I tried was I put a another container, which is right here, right? I bought this at the Dollar General. This is basically a I don't know, what is this thing? It says refrigerator storage bin. Oh, this thing was like $3, but if I take this and I slide it in here, right? I have to take the light bulbs out to do it, but I slide it in there and it sets up on top of there just like that. And you'll notice that there's that other tube right there, and it sits down inside this, so I can add water to this as well while the door is closed. And basically I just set that in there. I put this I put that sponge in there like that, and it sits up on top of there, and then those fans will blow across that sponge, and that also helps to bring the humidity up so that I can get what I'm looking for out of the humidity. And I only put that one up top during lockdown because I'm trying to get my humidity up, you know, 70, 75, 80%, whatever, and then it'll just run. It kicks on and off. That little atomizer right there will raise the humidity level by 10%. So if you're getting, you know, 60% and you'd like to get 70 for your lockdown, or you know, whatever, and this thing, once you turn it on, it takes maybe 30 seconds and then the humidity level goes up in it, and this just kicks on and off, just like your light bulbs do for the heat. Once it gets hot enough, the light bulb shut off. Once this gets the humidity right on the inside, then this shuts off, and then it'll just gradually drop down because of the heat and the fans. The humidity level will drop down, and then once it drops down to whatever you set it to, then it kicks back on and then rehumidifies the box. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it wasn't that hard to do. I'm not going to show you like all the buttons to push to set this stuff up. If you type in STC3828 setup into YouTube, you'll get probably 5 or 6 videos on how to set the limits on that thing. And there's also really good videos on how to wire it. And so I'm not going to really go into a bunch of detail about that. But it works good. I haven't had any troubles with it so far. Oh, you'll see on this side also I added another window, a viewing window, so that when I'm looking in there, I can see how much water is in this this top tray when it's sitting in there. That way I don't put too much water into this one and have it just spill all over the inside of the incubator and get the eggs all wet and have a disaster. But that's pretty much it. That's what I did. Again, not taking anything away from Terry over at Caternix Corner. That guy's awesome. Big shout out to him. And so I hope this helps you guys. You guys can do whatever with it you please. And if you have any other ideas, oh, one more thing out there in YouTube land. If anybody has done any experimentation with, instead of using these incandescent light bulbs to heat this, there's ceramic heating elements, and I don't know what size to buy in order to get this thing to heat up and hold temperature. So if anybody has done that with the Terrybator or the you know, this DIY incubator that Caternix Corner has put out, if anybody knows what size of those heating elements need to go in there to make this thing run right, let me know. I'd like to try that out as well, because incandescent light bulbs are not as easy to find as what they used to be, and they're pretty expensive now too. So I don't know, we'll see. I guess that's it. So you guys have a good day, and hope this helps you out.